Hello, grade 7. Today we're going to talk about multiplying and dividing decimals, as this is one of your main essential outcomes that you are going to be tested on during your appointed time in the coming weeks. Your parents have received an email with your appointment time. Make sure that you're responding so you know when you are coming in for that final examination. Your final testing in math is based on those 3 essential outcomes. So if you do your work this week and next, you will be strong. Anyhow, let's move on to the assignment and take a look at some samples. So here we're talking about decimals, and ultimately it starts with fractions and decimals. If you want to turn any fraction into a decimal, you could read this as 1 out of 4, or 1 divided into 4 pieces, like 1 divided into 4 pieces. And if you put into a calculator the numerator divided by the denominator, you will get a decimal answer. So the numerator is 1 divided by the denominator is, whoops, did I just do that twice? 1 divided by 4 equals decimal 25. So I've now converted this fraction into this decimal. So let's go back to the assignment and take a look at some of the sample questions that we're going to go over today. So first, let's take a look at the first one. Write each fraction as a decimal. Well, if I'm just dividing here, all I have to do is take 1 divided by 33. So I've got 1, the numerator, divided by 33, the denominator. And there is my decimal, oops, 0.030303. And it seems to go on forever. Now, when it goes on forever, you see that it is repeating 030303. The way to write that then is you can just go 0.03, and since the 0 and the 3 repeat, we put a line over them, indicating that they go on, so it's 03, 03, 03, 03, forever. This is what is called a repeating decimal. In number 2, it talks about repeating versus terminating decimals right here. A repeating decimal is like what we showed here. However, if I was changing a fraction like 1 over 2 into a decimal, I would have this. 1 divided by 2 equals decimal 5. It stops right at decimal 5. That means it is a terminating decimal. Terminating means that it's stopped in its tracks. Like the Terminator, Arnold Schwarzenegger was trying to terminate John Connor. It terminates or stops there. All right, next up, let's take a look at question 3. It says write each decimal as a fraction, and it starts off with this. Well, the easy way to put decimals into fractions, we just need to look at it this way. You have your ones place, you have your tenths place. Well, this means 2 tenths. Well, 2 tenths, that could be written as 2 over 10. But of course, is this correct? Not quite. You could easily simplify this to 1 over 5. You can divide by 2, and simplify to smaller numbers that indicate the same size of fraction. Because as we know, 2 tenths is equal to 1 fifth. All right, let's take a look at number 5. Number 5 says find a number between each pair of numbers. And it says, what strategy did you use? Well, let's take a look here at an example. 4/3 and 5/3. Boy, that's kind of tricky. Well, you know, I'm going to use a number line for an example. Let's see. 1, 2, 3/3, 4, 5/3. So we have 4/3, 5/3. So what we want to do, we want to find a mystery number that's somewhere in the middle. Well, I could convert these. I could go times 2 times 2. And that would get me 8 over 6. Sure enough, if I did 6 like this, that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 sixths, or 10 sixths. Now it's easy to find a number in the middle of those. That would be 9. over 6. Now that is one strategy that a person could use. Here's another strategy a person could use. I could try to change these into decimals and then put the decimals back into a fraction. So let's see, I could go 4 divided by 3 is 1.25. Oh, I totally made a mistake, my bad. If I put that into a calculator, I would get 1.33333 forever. And if I put this into a decimal, I would get 1.666 forever. So what's one that I could put in the middle? I could go 1.444444 or 1.555555, and that would also work. There's many different strategies to find numbers between. 6. Use front-end estimation to place the decimal point in each answer. And it says I've got 32.47 minus 6.75 equals 2572. But we don't know where to put the decimal. Well, if I look at this, this is like about 32 minus 7. That'd be about 25. So where should I put the decimal? Right there. Front-end estimation is when you round up or down and get a rough idea of what the answer is. All right, let's fast forward to number 9. A rectangular park has dimensions. So what this means is we have a park that is a rectangle. The dimensions are 2.84 kilometers. And where's the other one? I lost my place. 3.5 kilometers. What is the area? I think you know how to do this. And if you're not sure, come on into study hall. And the last one, number 11, says evaluate. Whenever this happens, kids go, so what do you mean, like solve it? Yes, you do need to solve it. However, there is a trick to solving questions like this, because you must use the order of operations. Now, the order of operations, if you recall, is please excuse my dear Aunt Sally because she farts. That helps you remember. But remember, there's 3 steps. Step 1, parentheses exponents. Step 2, multiply, divide. Step 3, addition, subtraction. But wait, here's the problem that Jimmy has every time he does this. He goes, okay, parentheses, exponents. And he goes all the way across. And he goes, here's an exponent, but I want parentheses first. Then exponents. No. It's parentheses or exponents. So you go left to right. So first you just go any parentheses or exponents. If a parenthesis comes first or an exponent, whatever comes first. Step 1, go left to right. Then step 2, multiplying, then dividing. Then step 3, adding or subtracting. So there's 3 steps, not 6. Some kids, they seem to think there's 6 steps. So let's look at number 1 as an example. If I've got this, what Jimmy does is he adds these together first. But if he wises up, he'll know multiplication and division come first. So he should put 3.7 times 2.8. So let's do that. 3.7 times 2.8 equals 10.36. I now have 5.9 plus 10.36. So let's add that 5.9 plus there. And we get 16.26. Done like dinner. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it was quick because it's a review, so it should be. However, if you need some more help, give me a ring on Study Hall. I'm happy to help you out. I also have other videos you can watch and materials that can help you out. You also have an answer key with you. Be checking that answer key. Make sure you're getting some things right so you're ready for your assessment. When you come in on your appointed time, you'll have an hour to complete. You'll have 3 mini quizzes, one on each of these outcomes. I'll see you in Study Hall.